G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. Today we'll be looking at the Ubuntu Mate 18.04. So it's been a long time coming this video. I've had a few issues with Ubuntu Mate on my test laptop. Just wasn't playing nice at all, so it wasn't really good to review it when it was playing up because it would probably put Ubuntu Mate in bad light, and I don't want to do that. So to get started, let's have a look at Ubuntu Mate 18.04 long-term support welcome screen. This is the welcome screen, and I believe there's one new thing that's been added here as far as I know is the browser selection. So you can open that up and you've got a choice of, well, you've got Firefox by default and you have a choice of another 5 browsers, as you can see: Chromium, Vivaldi, Google Chrome, Opera, and Brave. Got links to social media down the bottom here. So that's quite a nice selection. That's quite a nice little start there, because some people like their favorite browser on there from the word go. You also have this introduction, it's called. Let's go full screen. So you got introduction, scroll down to learn. So it has a lot of information here and it tells you about the Ubuntu Mate desktop, the objectives, what is it. So that's all very good reading there. Features, it'll tell you the features of the desktop itself, what it has within it that you can use. I've got the community for Google+, Facebook and Twitter, the Ubuntu Mate community, chat room. So we have getting started. So if we go to getting started, now if you click on one of these and then you go back here, you'll be back to this main screen. So if you click on this one, to run through the rest of that list, which is this list, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, you need to go click on this one and then click on next. So on the first list, which was, sorry to click backwards and forwards, but we have updates and extras. So here you can check for your updates. You've also got additional codecs. So you can install your additional codecs, which include cross-platform solution to decode, encode, record, convert, stream audio and video and so forth. So that does a whole range of things there. You also can install Blu-ray and DVD playback support, which is sometimes a bit confusing on other distros at times. Additional screensavers and additional themes and additional community wallpapers. So a lot going on there, and that's all really good stuff. So I'm not going to install any of them, but it's just a one-click affair. Just click the install button and away you go. It'll install it for you. So depends whether this one here, install over 200 screensavers, well, and additional themes, install additional themes and icons such as Numic and Arc and so forth. Let's go to next. Now you've got additional drivers, so that'll take you to the additional drivers page under the software and updates, which is if you go to your menu and go to software, if you search soft and software and updates, that'll take you also to this page. There's no additional drivers available, And the reason for that is, let's have a look, graphics. AMD's drivers are no longer supported on Ubuntu, so the open source drivers you are currently using will deliver the most stable performance out of your card. Okay, so then you've got wireless, Bluetooth and other devices. Read more on troubleshooting if you've got any issues. Printers. So when you set up a printer, it'll take you to the printer's setup. Let's have a look. There you go, and you can add a printer. It should probably find your printer. Unless you've got a troublesome printer, then you'll have to read more. And if you have an HP printer, HP Linux printing and imaging system, recommended if you have a HP printer, as it provides full support for printing on most HP single function peripherals. So just click that. If you've got a HP, click install and you should be right to go. And software utilities for peripherals. Solar, OpenRazor and Polychromatic. I've never used any of those. So a device manager for Logitech's unifying receiver peripherals. This enables features like managing paired devices and reading battery status. Okay. All right, so you got and those ones as well. So if you need any of those, just click the install button, you're right to go. Next. Language support. Your computer may require updates to your language and localization settings, or you may want to install additional language support. So you've got complex inputs here for your keyboards by the looks of it. I don't really have any interest in that, so that's fine. Let's move on next. So you can back up firewall and user management. So here we have backups with Deja Dupe if you want to back up your folders and your files and documents and so forth. Click on that button, it'll take you to Deja Dupe. Network shares, so if you want to read other computers or share your folders with other computers, or you have a USB plugged into your modem and you want to get hold of that, install Samba. Firewall, so configure firewall. This thing should take you to your firewall configuration and you put in your password, which would be the same as if we did a search in the menu for firewall, and that would be the same thing. So if I was to put in my password, opens the firewall, and same deal here. Opens the firewall, just click that on and away you go. Now, one thing I can tell you, if your firewall's on, you may have problems with file sharing. So I've had problems with file sharing with firewall on. So you would probably have to add a rule or an exception or something, and you may have to do some research on that. And then you can configure users, add a picture, add another user and so forth. Next. And then you got your control center. So that takes you to your control center. So you can look around that on first install and get to know what your control center is all about. Just have a browse and maybe a bit of a read, see if you can work out what goes on there if you're unsure. And that would also be the same as if you went to here in the menu, Control Center, opens the same thing. And then you have your keyboard shortcuts. So if you're in the keyboard shortcuts, there's a few there. And I would say also you could probably add your own custom ones, probably if your control center has a keyboard shortcuts. There you go, you could add, it'll be under there and same things as what's here, and at the bottom, or you can add here your own custom. Okay, next. And then you have the system specifications, quite a comprehensive list as well, which is good. So if you have a troubleshooting, you've got detailed list, a utilities list. Wow, so you can install all of these. This system profile is a very good one as well. It's called Hard Info by default. That's its real name, but this is what it comes up under your menu, so you can install that. So there's a few good little tools there as well, which is that you can install. So that's, I suggest you click on things because it actually takes you to places. This is probably a good one to copy and paste if you're in a forum and people are asking for your computer information because they're trying to help you with some issues. You could definitely copy and paste some of this stuff, or even this one, to let them know what you're running, because sometimes that can help them out. And that's it. We're at the end of the list. Topics takes us back to the main menu, so we've been clicking through all of these. So that's the getting started list, quite comprehensive and very well put together, I must say. And then you've got a chat room, donate, shopping, get involved. If you want to help out Ubuntu Mate and shops, can buy some things there to buy, laptops, USB sticks, coffee mugs, shirts and so forth, stickers, and there's a donate button there. So, and then you got down here software boutique, which we'll look at later. So very impressive welcome screen there, I must say. So what we have here is Ubuntu Mate with a new default desktop, and it's called Familiar. So I suppose it's called Familiar in the way that it's got the two panels, top one bottom. The difference is, besides it's got the Firefox link there on the panel, it's got the brisk menu by default, and your open windows down the bottom here are show desktop bottom left hand corner, your workspaces, rubbish bin, I think it is, yep, rubbish bin, and your applets up in the top right hand corner, which is shut down and user and so forth, calendar, sound, controls, and your Wi-Fi, and of course my running applet, which is the simple screen recorder. So I suppose before we could have a look at what it was running before. If we go to Mate Tweak and we go to panel, I think we go to traditional and we click OK, and this is more than likely what it was running before. However, I think the 1710, and I don't know what it was before that, would have been this bit here where the applications are, would have been the brisk menu, and then you had the places in the system. So, and it's not a lot of difference here. It's still got that Firefox link there. Not a lot of difference, just the menu difference mainly. And you've these ones here, you can go from one to another. So with the brisk menu, you couldn't scroll across there. You had to unclick it and then go across. So that's the difference there. So what we're looking at here, and I think I closed down the Mate Tweak. Yep, I closed that down. Panel. So that's the traditional, and it started with the familiar. So not a lot of difference between those two really. What we can look at is the contemporary. Now the contemporary has the brisk menu, and let's have a look. So just to cover a couple of things here, let's go back to the tweak again. Now if we go to, let's go back to the familiar. So what we have here is, if we look at our, if we open up File Manager, Kaja, 1.2, 20.2. We have our buttons on the right hand side. We have our menu inside the window. So that's the familiar desktop. Now I really need to put that tweak in the, I need to put that in the favourites, don't I? So pin to favourites. Also, if we go to traditional and click OK, you'll also see that on traditional we have also buttons on the right, menu is within the window. So pretty much the same deal there as well. Difference is the menu up here. So now we will go to contemporary and click OK. Now what we have here, now we've got buttons on the left for contemporary, still got the same panel layout top and bottom, show desktop, and all the applets and so forth seem to be the same. Now what we have here is the brisk menu. We have buttons on the left, but we don't have a menu in the window. We have the global menu up here. So that's the difference with contemporary. So let's go back to tweak and we shall go to Cupertino. Now the Cupertino is the Mac style. So we have, and the menu, so we've got a full menu happening here. So got the plank down the bottom, and if you hold down Control and right click, you got preferences there, and you can do things with the make some changes and tweaks to the plank down there. And you got the brisk, not the brisk menu, you got this new full screen menu. I'm not quite sure what this menu is called, but I quite like it. And it's got across here all your different categories, so that's quite handy. You've got search out of the box, so if we, so let's just say we press the super key or the Windows key, type tweak, there's your tweak tool, boutique, there's your software boutique, so it's very quick at searching as well. Hit the super key and it disappears. So if we say, for example, full screen this, yep, we got the buttons here. Still got the global menu there, so not a problem. So Cupertino is got the full screen menu, the global menu, and the plank at the bottom. So let's move on from the Cupertino and see what else we have going here. So we've looked at the familiar. Let's have a look at Mutiny. So now we have the Unity type desktop layout, and you've got the rubbish bin at the bottom. Now this is a panel, but it's running a dock. So if we say on this one, the only way you can add to panel here is in this top left hand corner. So if we add to panel, and if you look at that, if you was to put the dock on here, it'd be the same as this one here. So but you've got to have a panel to be able to add it. So that's running that dock. Now, where is you got the brisk menu. You got the main menu, Mate menu bar. I don't know which one this is. About brisk menu launcher. Okay. So that says that's the brisk menu. That's interesting. Let's have a look. Okay. So once again, you got the full screen launcher and some pinned applications here. You can easily right click and unpin Firefox or unpin your writer. You can see there's two windows open here because you've got two dots there. So the dots represent what's open. So if I was to click on that, if you left click on this, it shows you the open windows and where they are. Okay, but it doesn't minimize or maximize. So so you've got to click on that and then click on that. Okay, and we also have buttons on the left as well, and also Mutiny has the global menu going on up the top here as well. Unlike Cupertino, if we full screen that, you get a bit more screen real estate in this one because your buttons are residing up in the left hand corner. So that's where they are. So if you try to drag that window down, it's not going to happen. You need to hit the minimize button and then you're right to go. So back to the tweak tool and we'll look at Netbook. Netbook, I believe, is a very simple layout. This layout is advantageous to smaller laptops with a really small screen, probably 10-inch or 11-inch and things like that. So, and hence the small panel along the top there. And it's also running the brisk menu. And you can see also it's got the dots again on there. Left clicking gives you the availability to check out which folder you want to open, and this one's only got one, so it opens direct. And there's you don't have a plank, you don't have another panel, no panel on the left or bottom, just that one panel up the top. So Netbook is a very simple simple layout for the smaller laptops. Now you have buttons on the right as well, and your menu is within the window. So now we shall try the next one, which is Pantheon. Oh, sorry, I called Cupertino the elementary, the Mac style, I think. Oh yeah, I think that's right. The Pantheon is the elementary. So just like elementary, it has the menu up the top. So it doesn't have a menu like elementary, but it's the same concept. This one here, except this one here, you hit the super key and it actually opens. And then you've got your categories and brisk menu there. So, and then you've got your plank down the bottom. And opened windows here. So all your open apps are represented once again with a couple of dots underneath the application there, and you got the single panel across the top. And we'll have a look at the windows. Buttons again are on the right, and your menus are also within the window. Then we have the last one, which is Redmond. Am I keeping the best till last? I don't think so, really. So what we have here is we have the traditional Mate menu. So this is the menu that Mate originally started with. I suppose you could call it the Mint menu. and a lot of people, I think it gets a little bit of unjustified criticism, this menu, because I actually enjoy using this menu. And I think going back quite a while when Mate was first brought out, I think this menu here is really advanced for its time, so I actually quite like it. So on the Redmond, you have its traditional Windows type layout, and shows it's got applets there showing disks that are available to mount. Calendar there, same applets as on all the desktop layouts anyway. Then it gives you your Windows lists down the bottom here for your open windows. You've got the buttons on the right. Also the menus are within the window as well, which you would expect anyway from a Redmond layout. And then you got some default apps down the bottom there. So all in all, that is the Mate desktop, the Ubuntu Mate long-term support. So what we shall do is, I think a lot of the layouts are fairly obvious. The one that I quite like, I suppose, which is a lot of people are liking, is the Mutiny layout, which is that one there. One more thing we'll have a look at is launching from this dock here. So you can click on Firefox, not a problem, and you can click on this one here. Now, down from the menu, Firefox is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So what you can do is the Ubuntu Unity desktop had a feature, whereas if you press the Alt button and number 1, then because Firefox is number 1, it would launch Firefox. So we'll go Alt 1. Sorry, I think it's Super 1. Sorry, it's the Super key, which is the Windows key, and number 1. That's the Firefox. So this one is number 2. So if we hold the Super key and press the number 2, it'll launch Libre Writer. Number 3 will launch Calc. Number 4 would launch Impress. Now the other feature that Ubuntu Mate has put into here is you can use Alt Tab to change the windows, like so. The other thing you can do is you can use the Super key and go back to the writer number 2, Super 2. Super 3 is LibreOffice Calc. Super 2, for some reason Super 2 is not working. If we go back to 1, there you go. I don't know why. I think that might have, what's happened there? Oh, okay. So cancel that. Alright, okay. So Super 1 is Firefox. Super 2 is Writer. And it's still not working for the writer. Let's minimize the writer and see what happens. Super 2, Super 3, Super 1. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. Let's close them up. So let's try again. Super 1 is Firefox, Super 2 is the writer, and Super 3 is Calc. So if we go back to Firefox, Super 2 is writer and Super 3. So you can switch between the windows using the same combination that's launching them as well. So it's a launcher and it's a window switcher. So that's pretty handy. Just remember, down from the menu selection here, it starts at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whatever else you have pinned to the dock will be the next number down or up. Now we'll have a quick look at the boutique. Haven't looked at that yet. So the software boutique, let's open that up. Now this works a lot better if you full screen it, because you can see everything a lot clearer. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly run through software boutique. Okay, so if we do a search for Menulibre, I don't know if it's in there or not. No, it's not. So I don't know if we have to press enter or not. No software found. Okay. So let's have a quick look here. Games, graphics. Let's go for sound and video. Let's install Audacity. And let's find one more thing to install. Let's say EzeeTag install. And then what we're going to do here is this software center is a set of applications that have been picked as probably the most commonly used apps, or maybe the most popular from Ubuntu Mate's perspective, I would say. So they also probably feedback from their users as well, and what they use and what's most commonly used. So that's really good, because even they've got Etcher in here, which is good. So you know, you don't have to go trawling the internet to install these things, because you know the most common things that you're probably going to need you'll probably find in the boutique. But if it's not in the boutique, what we're going to do is we're going to go to more software. Now you've got the Synaptic Package Manager, which is, I like Synaptic, but let's keep it new user friendly. We'll go for the software and we'll install that. So now what we've done is we've queued up 3 apps. So what we do is apply changes, and then we put in our password. We'll let those install. Now when Ubuntu Mate first came out, it was only possible to install one at a time. So that's a huge improvement. Quite like that. So Audacity's been installed. We have a notification there. EzeeTag's been installed, another notification. And software's been installed. Okay, so now up here you've also got a click on finished. Okay. So up here you've got a spanner. Now you can choose to enable the bulk queue, which is what we just did. It queues up and then you just click one button, they all install. If you disable that, you can do them only one at a time. So you've got a choice. So Boutique News tells you what's been added, what's been fixed and removed. and so forth for each different version. So for example, for this version here, 17.10.23, which is what we're running, it says down the bottom here, they've fixed Google Earth and TextWorks. Haven't really used either of those, but I'm sure that's a good thing. And for the previous version, you can see there was a few things happening there, a few removed, a few fixed, and a few added. So they've added the Google Music Manager and the Google Play Music Desktop Player, Red Eclipse, which is a game, and an education app there as well, so that's all good stuff. So we've installed the software, so if we go to software, and software there, and let's go shopping. Now I want to install, so you can use this if you don't find what you're looking for in the software boutique. So that'll just take a bit to populate. So we can do a search for Menulibre. Not found. So we try terminal. Or actually, if we're doing for new people, we'll try the boutique again, and we shall go for, in the boutique we will use software again, and we'll install the Synaptic Package Manager, apply changes, password, and finished. So if we unmaximize that and we go to the menu again and we type Synaptic, password. Now for some reason the software center sometimes doesn't have what you're looking for, so it's good to have all sources in there that you can use. Menulibre, there it is. Mark for installation. Apply. Apply. Close it out. Now we've got Menulibre installed. So if we go to menu, go to Menulibre. So menu editor is Menulibre, main menus is another one, so we'll use that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a new directory called Places. So let's rename that. Give that a tick and save. Now it's called Places. So if we click on Places, we'll add a launcher. Now this launcher I'm going to call Downloads. Tick that. Going to look for icons and we want folder dash downloads. So we've got black folders. We're looking, we'll give it a downloads blue. Apply that. Oh, that's a documents one. That's not what I was after. I wanted downloads. Apply. And the command we're looking for is Kaja, which is your file manager, space, / home, your username, mine is Colin, whatever your username is to log in, and downloads. And we shall save that. Now, in your menu here, you will now have places with your folder for downloads. So that'll take you directly to downloads. So what we can do now while we're in the menu editor is go back to places, add a new launcher. Let's go documents. Tick that. Browse icons, go folder dash documents. I must have done something wrong there, it's not searching, is it? Folder dash documents. So I will use the green one for that, although there was another one before, wasn't there? Folder documents, so we've got all different colours here. So let's give documents a purplish one, sounds good. Let's apply that. And the command is Kaja space home colon documents, and don't forget these are all capitals for the downloads and the documents and all that. They're all capitals, and click on save. Go back to places, add a new launcher. This launcher will be videos. Folder videos, let's give it a red one. Kaja / home colon videos with a capital, and save. Places again, add launcher. New launcher is pictures. Browse icon, what colour we want for pictures. Yellow's a bit bright, let's just go for green for pictures. If we got one. Pictures will go red, apply. Oh, we've already got a red one, haven't we? Folder pictures, let's go for the green. And be Kaja / home colon pictures with a capital P. Save that. And then we need one more. What are we looking at? What am I missing? Oh, music, of course. Add launcher, call that music. Tick. Let's do the icons again. Let's go for, I reckon, a black one for music, or we've got a grey, or we could try that one. Music, apply. Kaja / home colon music with a capital, and save. So now we go to our menu, we go to places, and we got all those there: videos, pictures, music, downloads, and documents. So they should be open in their respective folders: downloads, documents, pictures, music, and videos. So what have we got? All opened up under here. So yep. So you can minimize, maximize, no problem at all. So that's how you get your personal folders sorted out on Ubuntu Mate on the main menu. And that's change desktop as well. See what else we've got here. That doesn't look too bad. So have we got the dock to change with the colours? I don't think we did again, or did we? Yes, we did. Okay. So now the panel, I can't access the panel on this one here. So I don't know whether, if we remove the dock from the panel and we go to the panel properties and auto hide, close that, so that's auto hiding, and then we add the dock back in, add, okay, close that, and then now we're auto hiding, okay. No, we need to move that back up to the top. I'll give it a bit of space. So now we've got an auto hide dock. There we go. So that's how you auto hide the dock. If we go to the familiar desktop layout and we go to the brisk menu, we have our places there as well. So they're working well. Hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.